Hi everyone, and welcome to Heart to Hearts with Rach. I am so glad you're here. Let's get started. So on today's Heart to Heart, I am specifically talking about this idea of having a clear mind or having clarity. There is a guided meditation that coincides with this vlog, which I hope you'll check it out. Guided meditation on a clear mind. I uploaded it last week. I've really been thinking a lot about this idea, and I think we'll probably stay here for the next few weeks, and I'll explore perhaps a journal entry or guided prayer on clarity of mind. It's a topic of conversation amongst a lot of people I'm around, a lot of my friends, family members, and it consistently is. No matter what season it is, no matter what year it is, someone is always talking about having clarity. So I thought that I would come on here and talk about what that means and looks like for me. I've recently experienced clarity. I've also recently had a day or a moment where I felt so congested mentally, so foggy. And something that I experienced just this week in having clarity of mind was, number one, and I've talked about this before on this channel, is stepping out of your world, your day-to-day life, if you are able to, and experiencing a different land, different people, different way of life. I recently, this week, took a trip to Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, Woot. It felt like such a different space, and it is, truly, but I think just driving through the city and the little towns surrounding Columbus, first of all, it's just so flat, right? So there's nothing but space, nothing but land, nothing but open skies. But for some reason, for me, that just brought a lot of rest and clarity to my mind. I knew that because the second I set foot back on New York soil, specifically Brooklyn, specifically going about my day, I had this sort of flood of congestion mentally. And I realized the congestion was actually a lot of comparison thoughts. And I really do feel as though clarity comes, first of all, when you recognize those congested comparative thoughts, perhaps, whatever that looks like for you. And then you recognize and maybe envision yourself in a space and a place that has open space, that has freedom, that has clarity, even viscerally, you can see the land, you can see the sky, right? And so I felt so refreshed after taking that trip, being with family. It was so lovely. But also being able to reimagine myself back into a space in a place that has just so much land and openness has brought a lot of clarity to my spirit this week. Another part of clarity is this idea of rest, right? I talk about this a lot. It's kind of my theme of my life is finding rest amongst a strife, performative, production-driven world, consumerist, capitalist world. And rest comes for me when I allow myself to sit in stillness, to sit in the quiet, and to sit with God. I realize that everyone on this channel perhaps are coming from different angles in your religious, spiritual practice, whatever that means for you. But for me, sitting with God in stillness and in the silence knowing that there's nothing I can do in that moment to make anything happen. There's nothing I can do to think up some sort of peace-filled bubble. The rest that comes in simply being with myself and with the Lord, and noticing my body in a position, a posture of stillness, brings rest, brings clarity. So ponder perhaps what rest looks like for you in your life in this moment, and it probably changes every single week, every single day perhaps. Clarity is something that comes when you realize that you have all of the answers all around you, always. Whatever you're striving for, whatever you're wanting to achieve, what you're questioning and what you're seeking after, it's right in front of you. It is all right in front of you. And again, when we take ourselves out of our status quo, out of our day-to-day norm, and locate ourselves into a new space that perhaps has the open land, open skies, where you can sit and rest in silence with the Father. And you can realize that everything you need is right in front of you. That is a recipe for clarity, in my opinion and in my experience. And now, I always say this often, like, we get amnesia so quickly and we need reminders. And so I needed to remind myself of how this takes shape in my body, how this takes shape in my vision and my perspective and my hearing and my feeling and my taste. Like, it's a sensory experience, clarity. It can be. And I hope that these 3 aspects of finding clarity are helpful for you. And I hope that you go, if you haven't already, or if you have, go back to that guided meditation and experience a clear mind with me, and come back to it whenever you need a reminder. Thank you, as always, for joining me for these heart-to-hearts, for the guided meditation, Move It classes, and everything in between. These heart-to-hearts are just moments where I just share what is on my mind, what I've been marinating in and thinking about in recent weeks and days, and I hope that it's helpful for you on your journey of loving ourselves more every day, loving each other, loving God, healing and wholeness, and just beauty everywhere, always. Thank you again for joining me, and I can't wait to see you back here again very soon. Much love. Bye.